debt can feel, well, less like a temporary burden and maybe more like this permanent state of stress, you know?
Absolutely. It hangs over you.
But here's the good news. You can absolutely pay it off faster. The key is stop treating it like chaos and start applying some structure.
Right. Structure is everything.
So today we're doing a deep dive into the two sort of foundational debt repayment strategies, the Snowball Method and the Avalanche Method.
Yep, the big two.
And the goal is to help you figure out which one, maybe which psychological trigger or mathematical advantage is going to set you free.
And it's interesting because the stress of debt, it isn't purely financial, is it?
No, not at all.
It's this overwhelming mix of, high interest eating away at your income, plus the psychological weight of just juggling all those different payments. It gets confusing.
Totally. Decision fatigue is real.
Exactly. And these methods, Snowball and Avalanche, they exist precisely to cut through that fatigue. They give you a functioning system.
Okay, so let's unpack the Snowball Method first. It seems like this one leans heavily on psychology.
It really does. We saw this with a user case, Sarah, who mentioned needing those constant dopamine hits just to stay committed.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
And Snowball is designed exactly for that. Mechanically, you list all your debts, but you order them from the smallest balance to the largest.
Right. Smallest dollar amount first.
Yep. Then you pay the minimums on everything else. That's important. But you throw every single extra dollar you possibly can at that smallest debt.
And then what happens when it's gone? Because that's kind of the magic part, isn't it?
That is the magic part. It's the rollover. So once that smallest debt is paid off, let's say it's a $500 credit card, you don't just, absorb that extra money back into your budget.
You keep the payment size the same.
Precisely. You take the money you were paying on that cleared debt, the minimum plus all the extra, and you roll that entire, now larger payment onto the next smallest debt on your list.
And that's where the snowball idea comes from. The payment amount grows as it rolls downhill.
Exactly. That momentum is powerful. You knock out that $500 balance relatively quickly, then you roll that payment onto, say, a $3,000 personal loan.
And suddenly that $3,000 doesn't seem quite so daunting.
Right, because you're hitting it with a bigger shovel, so to speak. This method is all about immediate positive reinforcement. It gives you quick wins.
Which combats that feeling of, apathy or hopelessness that can kill long-term financial plans.
Spot on. For people who are maybe juggling, 7, 8, 10 different debts, or those who just consistently struggle to stick with a budget, Snowball is often, frankly, the better choice.
Even though it might cost a bit more in interest?
Yes, because the immediate emotional victory, that feeling of progress, it often outweighs the minimal mathematical loss in the long run if it keeps you consistent. It's about building the habit first.
Okay, so Snowball tackles the small balances, feeds that need for progress. But what about the flip side? What if someone's staring down a credit card with 25% interest and they just want to save the most money, period?
Well, that's where we pivot. We move from psychology to pure, cold, hard math. That's the Avalanche Method.
So how does that work? It flips the listing order.
It completely flips it. With Avalanche, you list your debts not by balance size, but by the interest rate. Highest APR down to the lowest APR.
Okay, highest interest rate gets the focus.
Correct. You still pay minimums on everything else again, crucial, but every spare cent goes towards attacking that debt with the highest interest rate first, that financial monster.
And unlike Snowball's quick emotional boost, this is purely about the numbers.
Purely fiduciary, yes. You target that, say, 22% interest credit card first, even if it has a much larger balance than your, 6% car loan.
So what does that actually mean for your wallet over time? How does the math play out?
It means maximum savings. It's simple, really.
Yeah.
By attacking the debt that's costing you the most in interest every single day, you shrink your total interest payments much faster.
So less money wasted on interest.
A lot less, potentially. Some sources suggest that over, let's say, a typical 5-year payoff period on maybe $25,000 of debt, switching from a strict Snowball to Avalanche could easily save you upwards of $1,500, maybe more.
Wow, $1,500 is not nothing.
Definitely not. You end up debt-free sooner, mathematically speaking, and it costs you less overall to get there.
Okay, but hang on. If the math is so clearly in favor of Avalanche, why would anyone choose Snowball and just leave potentially $1,500 on the table? Does that mean they're being, financially irresponsible just for a feeling?
That's a really important question, and it gets to the heart of it. The core difference isn't about one being right and the other wrong. It's all about personal adherence. Can you stick with it?
The human element.
Exactly. Avalanche gives you the best financial return, no question. But it can feel discouraging. You might be pouring hundreds of extra dollars into this huge high-interest debt for months, maybe even a year, without seeing that balance disappear.
Right, you don't get those quick wins. It can feel like a slog.
It can.
Yeah.
And if that frustration causes you to just give up on the plan altogether, well, then you save nothing. You're worse off.
So Snowball kind of sacrifices a bit of that maximum financial efficiency for the sake of keeping you in the game.
Precisely. It sacrifices maybe a small amount of long-term savings in exchange for immediate motivation and hopefully better adherence, keeping you consistent.
So what really stands out here then is that both methods actually work. There isn't a single best answer for everyone.
Absolutely. The best method is quite simply the one you will actually stick with, day in and day out.
That makes total sense.
Yeah, the real secret isn't buried in the spreadsheet calculations of Snowball versus Avalanche. It's just consistency.
Pick a lane and stay in it.
Pick a lane and thrive. Whether you're rolling that snowball or triggering an avalanche, the goal is the same. Implementing a system you can stick to until you are completely, finally, debt-free.
Which leaves us with a really interesting question for you, the listener, to chew on. If Avalanche mathematically saves you more money, maybe quite a bit, but Snowball delivers that emotional consistency that might be required for you to actually finish the job, what's the true cost of adherence? Is financial stress purely a math problem to be solved, or is that emotional reward sometimes a necessary price to pay for success? Something to think about.